Hi, my name's Dana Humphrey. I'm Dean of the University of Maine College of Engineering. It's my pleasure to welcome you on this tour. Oh, and by the way, everybody just calls me Dana. So here we are in the Advanced Manufacturing Center. See, it's a very large facility. We have about 15 students who work here and about 3 staff members. This is a place where students get real hands-on experience. Let's look at some of the cool toys we have here. This device here is a 3D printer. This one actually prints in metal. Primarily, we're printing in stainless steel. Example of an object where this is just kind of some funny shapes to show the capabilities. So what we do in this lab is we conceive of, design, fabricate, and test the next generation of building materials. This takes a lot of different forms. So if we take a look at what's behind me right here, this is a system to decelerate manned spacecraft as it goes into the Martian atmosphere. These are a series of inflated rings, kind of like donuts. The official name would be a toroid, and we stack these up into a big inverted pyramid. And what this does is it creates a lot of cross-sectional area. So let's look at how big this building is. This room here is 230 feet long. If we look off to this side here, if we step back just a little bit, we can see we've got a wind turbine blade that's mounted there. We do structural testing of wind turbine blades. We can do blades that are up to 230 feet long. So now as we take a look off to this side here, you can see these 3 blocks that are yellow on top, kind of a reddish orange on the bottom. Those are actually floating chambers from our floating offshore wind platform. These were built here in the lab. They're made out of concrete. What we're looking at behind me here is the world's largest 3D printed boat. We printed this using the world's largest 3D printer, which we'll look at in just a moment. This particular boat is 25 feet long, weighs 5,000 pounds. It was printed in 70 hours. We're now going into the wind wave basin. So if we take a look down here, what we have is a series of 16 paddles. These rock forward, rock back. That makes the waves. And what we're trying to do in this lab is not to study waves. What we're doing is making the waves we want and study the effect on structures. So we have up there at the far end, that's the wind generator. So we can generate both waves and wind at the same time. On a scale basis, we can do the equivalent of 100-foot waves and 200-mile-per-hour wind at the same time. Okay, we're now in the Process Development Center. What we're looking at behind me here is a pilot scale paper machine. What we can do here is literally start with a log and end up with paper. Now we're in our Engineering and Science Research Building. Here we have Class 1000 clean rooms. What we're doing is making advanced sensors. An example is we made a sensor that can detect red tide. Red tide is something that contaminates shellfish, and if you were to eat shellfish contaminated with red tide, at best you'd get ill, and at worst it could actually be fatal. So we have a faculty member here who developed a sensor that detects only one thing, and that's saxitoxin, which is what causes red tide. So now we're in Crosby Lab. A lot of mechanical engineering projects are currently done in this space here. So you see some of the drill presses and other machining equipment. We do a lot of cool things here. One of the great projects we have is right here. If we take a look at this, this is clearly a snowmobile. But let's look at the back of the snowmobile. That's not a normal snowmobile. This is a snowmobile that we converted to run on compressed natural gas. Thank you so much for joining us on this tour of the UMaine College of Engineering. Remember, students just call me Dana. If you have any questions, please reach out to me through the College of Engineering website. Would love to see you at the University of Maine as one of our students.